Dear students, in this video we will study the next topic for 11th standard is mathematical methods. The first point in this topic is scalars or scalar quantities. What is meant by scalar quantity? The quantity which can be completely described by magnitude only. That quantities are called as the scalar quantities. For example, mass, time, length, temperature, these quantities are called a scalar quantity. Why? Because this mass can be completely explained or described by only magnitude and unit, not necessarily the direction for description of the mass. Similarly, time, length and temperature. Now, what is meant by vectors or vector quantity? The physical quantity which can be completely described by magnitude as well as direction. That quantities are called as the vector quantities. The example displacement, force, pressure, both, that is the displacement. This quantity can be described by magnitude as well as direction. म्हणजे दिशा आणि किंमत यामुळे ही राशी पूर्णपणे व्यक्त होते. फोर्स व्यक्त करण्यासाठी, डिस्क्राइब करण्यासाठी दिशा आणि किंमत याची आवश्यकता असते. त्याच पद्धतीने प्रेशर एक्सप्लेन करण्यासाठी दिशा आणि त्याची किंमत याची आवश्यकता असते. अशा ज्या राशी आहेत, डेन्सिटी असेल, अनेक राशी आहेत, अशा राशींना काय म्हणायचं? वेक्टर क्वांटिटीज असं याला म्हटलं जातं. The vector can be represented by line segment or it is represented by the arrow. In this figure, graphical representation of vector is AB bar or AB. That is, AB can be represented by vector P bar, that is AB bar is equal to P bar. The distance or length between the point A and B. This length between point A and B is called as the magnitude of the vector, and the starting point of vector is A is called as the tail of the vector, and the arrow which is the end point of the vector called as the head of the vector. That head gives the direction of the vector, and distance between the point A and B gives the magnitude of the vector. It can be represented by AB bar is equal to P bar, or also it can be represented by mod P bar. Also it can be represented by bold-faced letter P. Now we have to explain the zero vector. What is meant by zero vector? A vector whose magnitude is equal to 0 in a given direction or at a particular direction. That vector is called as the zero vector, and the zero vector can be represented by 0 bar. Next, what is meant by resultant vector? Resultant vector, two or more vector. That is, two or more vector. That is, effect of this two or more vector is a single vector. दोन किंवा अनेक वेक्टरचं एकत्रित केले आपण तर त्याचा एक सिंगल वेक्टर आपल्याला मिळतो. That vector is called as the resultant vector, whose effect is same as that of the two or more vector added together. It is called a resultant vector. What is meant by negative vector? A vector is said to be negative vector. That is, both having same magnitude but they are oppositely directed. With here we have to consider vector A bar and vector B bar. That is, vector A bar, B bar is a negative vector of A bar because the direction magnitude of both vector is same but direction is opposite. Therefore, B bar is called as the negative vector of A bar. Next, equal vector. The vector is said to be equal vector when both vector, that is A bar and B bar, having the same magnitude and same direction. दिशा एकच, किंमत एकच, असे जर वेक्टर असतील तर त्या वेक्टरला इक्वल वेक्टर म्हणतात. दॅट इज ए बार इज इक्वल टू बी बार. नेक्स्ट, पोझिशन वेक्टर. A vector which represents the position of the given object, body or particle in a coordinate system or chosen coordinate system. that vector is called as the position vector. Here we have to explain two-dimensional coordinate system x, y, o is the origin. Suppose that we have to take point P. That is at that point we have considered particle. Then point P represent the position of the particle, and it can be represented by OP bar. That is, it can be represented from the origin. OP bar is equal to R bar. This is the position vector in a given or chosen coordinate system. Now we have to explain unit vector. Unit vector, a vector having unit magnitude. ज्या वेक्टरची किंमत 1 आहे अशा वेक्टरला काय म्हणायचं? युनिट वेक्टर म्हणायचं. ए वेक्टर हॅव्हिंग युनिट मॅग्निट्यूड इन ए गिवन डायरेक्शन. त्या ठिकाणी एक्झाम्पल बघूया आपण. इफ m बार इज ए युनिट वेक्टर. m बार हा काय आहे? युनिट वेक्टर आहे. दॅट इज इट्स मॅग्निट्यूड m. m इज इक्वल टू मॉड m बार. इज नॉट ए झिरो. हा काय आहे? झिरो नाही. इट नॉट झिरो. द युनिट वेक्टर अलॉंग द m बार is written as um bar. Um bar along m bar, that vector is represented by um bar, and it is given by um bar is equal to m bar divided by m. It is called as the unit vector um bar. For three-dimensional coordinate system, we have to take I bar and j bar, k bar are the unit vector along the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Then unit vector along x-axis can be represented by ux bar is equal to I bar, ur bar is equal to j bar, uz bar is equal to k bar. Therefore, I bar, the vector I bar along x-axis is equal to x bar divided by x, j bar is equal to y bar divided by y, and k bar is equal to z bar divided by z. These are the unit vector along the three-dimensional coordinate system along x, y, z coordinates. Therefore, we have to explain next point in this chapter is addition of vectors. Addition of vectors. Here the next point is addition of vector. We have to explain first composition of vector. What is meant by composition of vector? The process of finding the resultant of two or more vectors is called as the composition of vectors. We have to consider the velocity v1 bar and v2 bar of the same time along the same direction. Then there are composition of vector v bar is equal to v1 bar plus v2 bar. Similarly, we have to explain force. Resultant force is equal to f bar is equal to f1 bar plus f2 bar. If two vectors are acting along the same or opposite direction, दोन वेक्टर आहेत, एकाच दिशेला असू शकतील किंवा अपोजिट डायरेक्शनला असू शकतील. या ठिकाणी दोन वेक्टरचे आपल्याला ऍडिशन घेता येते. म्हणून इफ टू वेक्टर्स आर ऍक्टिंग along the same or opposite direction, they can be added or subtracted as follows. म्हणजे एकाच दिशेला असेल तर ऍडिशन होईल आणि अपोजिट डायरेक्शनला असतील एकमेकाच्या तर त्या ठिकाणी काय होईल? सबट्रॅक्ट होतील. ते आता आपण काय करूया? उदाहरण घेऊन पाहूया. कन्सिडर ए वेक्टर AB bar. This is the vector AB bar which can be represented by P bar having magnitude is equal to P bar is equal to 5 unit. And consider the next vector along the same direction. The magnitude of this vector BC bar is equal to 2 unit. Then these two vectors must be added to each other. Therefore, the resultant vector can be represented by AC bar. AC bar is equal to 7 unit. That is, in this case, AB bar plus BC bar is equal to AC bar. That is 5 plus 2 is equal to 7 unit. This is the addition of two vectors. We have to add these two vectors, but the direction of both vectors along the same. And the arrow indicate the large magnitude of the vector. Next, we have to take the subtraction of two vectors. For this case, we have to consider the vector, that is this vector PQ bar having 10 unit. Magnitude is equal to 10 unit, and the second vector which can be represented in this way, that is QR. The unit of this, that is the magnitude of this vector, is equal to 3 unit. Therefore, we have to take the subtraction of these two vectors, that is PQ bar minus R QR. PQ bar minus QR bar is equal to PR bar. That is PQ is equal to 10 unit minus QR is equal to 3 unit. 10 minus 3 is equal to 7 unit. That is the magnitude when both vectors subtract from each other, then the magnitude is equal to 7 unit. Next, we have to explain the idea about the triangle law of vector addition. How two vectors added to each other by using the triangle law of vector addition. In this case, we have to consider two vectors, that is the vector PQ bar is equal to A bar, and next vector RS is equal to B bar. These two vectors can be added by triangle law of vector addition. In this case, we have to draw the first vector PQ bar is equal to A bar, QA or RS bar is equal to BR by the two sides of the triangle, incomplete triangle. Then remaining side which can drawn from the point P to the point S, this side represent the resultant of these two vectors, can be written as C bar is equal to A bar plus B bar. This is the resultant of these two vectors A bar and B bar, that is PS bar is equal to PQ bar plus RS bar. This is the resultant of two vectors can be added by triangle method. We have to state the statement for the triangle law vector addition. If two vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by the two sides of the triangle taken in order. If two vectors are represented in magnitude and direction of the two sides of the triangle taken in order, then the remaining side of the triangle is represented in magnitude and direction, which can be drawn from the starting point of the first vector to the end point of the last vector. This is the statement for vector addition by triangle law method. Vector addition is commutative. For any two vector P bar and Q bar, P bar plus Q bar is equal to Q bar plus P bar. This property or law is called as the commutative law of vector addition. Explanation, that is O, A, B, C. O is the parallelogram. In this case, in this parallelogram, there are two triangles OAB, OCB. In triangle OAB, P bar plus Q bar. OAB, P bar plus Q bar is equal to R bar. In triangle OCB, in this case, Q bar plus P bar is equal to R bar. From these two equations, we can write P bar plus Q bar is equal to Q bar plus R bar. That is, the vector addition is commutative. Next, vector addition is associative. In this case, we have to consider three vectors a bar, b bar and c bar. These are the three vectors. Then we can write a in bracket a bar plus b bar plus c bar is equal to a bar plus in bracket b bar plus c bar. This is called as the commutative associative law of vector addition. This can be proved by this diagram, that is in this triangle OQR, that is b bar plus c bar plus a bar. In triangle OPQ, a bar plus b bar plus c bar, that is a bar plus b bar plus c bar, and b bar plus c bar plus a bar. With the help of this diagram, we can explain the associative law a bar plus b bar in bracket, that is plus c bar is equal to a bar plus in bracket b bar plus c bar. The next point is vector addition by polygon method. How to add the vectors? Number of vectors can be added by polygon method. We have to explain the idea about the diagram and polygon method. That is, we have to consider number of vectors OA, AB, BC, CD. These are the 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 vectors can be added by the polygon method. The vector OA is called a P1 bar, plus this vector is P2 bar, BC is the P3 bar and CD is the P4 bar. Then complete the polygon by connecting or by joining the point O and D, that is incomplete side of the polygon. Also we can join OB, OC. By using triangle law of method, by using the triangle law of vector addition, we have to write in this case, that is this OB bar is equal to P1 plus P2, that is OC bar is equal to P1 plus P2 plus P3 bar, and OCD in this triangle OD is equal to P1 bar plus P2 bar plus P3 bar plus P4 bar. We have to explain here. Consider the 4 vector OA, AB, BC and CD represented P1 bar, P2 bar, P3 bar, P4 bar respectively. Then this is the incomplete polygon. Then the resultant of these vectors is the remaining side of the polygon, which can drawn from the point O to point D. Then OD is the resultant vector, which can be represented by R bar. Therefore, we have to write here in this triangle OAB, that is OB is equal to OA plus AB, means OB is equal to P1 plus P2 bar is equal to OA is equal to P1 plus P2. Direct we can write P1 plus P1 bar plus P2 bar. In this triangle we have to write OB plus BC, that is P1 plus P2 plus P3, that is P1 plus P2 plus P3. This side plus this side is equal to this side by triangle law of vector addition. Similarly, in triangle OCD, that is OC plus CD is equal to OD. Therefore, P1 bar plus P2 bar plus P3 bar plus P4 bar. This is the remaining side of the polygon. Then we have to state the polygon method or statement for polygon method. If the number of vectors are represented in magnitude and direction, number of vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of the polygon, by the sides of polygon taken in order, in this way, taken in order. Then the remaining side of the polygon, which represented in magnitude and direction, which can be drawn from the starting point of first vector to the end point of the last vector. In this way we can explain the polygon method for number of vector addition. Again we state the polygon method. If number of vectors are represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of incomplete polygon, then remaining side of the polygon which represent the resultant side, which can be drawn from the starting point of first vector to the end point of the last vector in magnitude and direction. In this way, we have complete here vector addition by polygon method. Okay.